San Diego just spent $3.8 billion rebuilding its airport. But that's just one of the major projects happening right now. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to know about the projects that are going to transform San Diego County for good. The first project I'll cover is the Lawson, an 180-unit building, 8 stories tall, sitting right on the edge of South Park and Golden Hill. Now, if you spent any time in these places, you already know the vibe. Canyons, craftsman homes, local coffee shops, streets that were never designed for tall buildings. And that's why this next project has so many people paying attention to it. So the plans include studios up to 2-bedroom units, rooftop amenities, on-site parking, the whole thing. On paper, this sounds like a pretty standard housing project, but the developer got it approved through something called the Complete Communities Housing Solutions Program. That's a mouthful, which means the city says if you build near transit, you can go taller and denser than normal zoning would allow. The city gets more housing near transit, while the developers get to build bigger projects. But a community group called Preserve Greater Golden Hill filed a lawsuit back in October of 2025. And the issue they're raising could end up affecting developments across all of San Diego. And later, we'll get into the Pacific Beach fight, and this is a big one. You'll see the same state versus local control battle show up again in an even bigger way, so stick around. Now, the transit project tied to the Lawson is called Rapid 637. It's part of a Sandag plan targeting 2030. So opponents are arguing that developers shouldn't get extra height and density in 2025 based on transit infrastructure that may not be built for another decade. And this goes way beyond just one apartment building. The same development strategy is showing up all over San Diego right now, in places like Hillcrest, Bay Park, and Claremont. So if a court ends up narrowing how these transit rules can be interpreted, it could affect projects citywide. Now, the Lawson may end up being one of the smaller developments in this video, but it could also become one of the most important ones too. And speaking of unexpected projects, the next one isn't coming from a developer, a city agency, or Sacramento. It's coming from a local school district. The San Diego Unified School District is about to step into the housing world in a way most people never saw coming. It actually owns land in some of the most valuable parts of San Diego, and it has plans to build housing for its own employees, teachers, staff, and district workers. Back in January of 2026, the school board moved forward on its biggest site so far, the Eugene Brucker Education Center on Normal Street in University Heights. The proposal they selected from a team called Protea and Malik includes plans for up to 1,500 housing units on that property alone. Now, the district has been looking at other properties too, with a long-term goal of providing housing for around 10% of its workforce over the next couple of years. And keep that number in mind, because when we get to the airport later, you'll start to see how the workforce pressure across the region connects to all of this, so stay with me. Now, public agencies sitting on valuable land have always had choices. They could sell it, lease it out, or build office space. What SDUSD is trying to do is different. They're looking at district-owned land as a way to help recruit and retain workers in a city where housing costs keep pushing people out. And if this works, every major school district in California is going to start looking at its own land the same way. Now, real quick before we move on, if you're watching these projects and trying to figure out what they could mean for your neighborhood, your property value, or where you should be looking here in San Diego, that's the kind of thing I talk through with people all the time. My contact info is down in the description below. Now, this next one is about whose rules matter more, the state or the cities. If you live in Pacific Beach, you're used to surf shops, beach cottages, and a skyline where most buildings stay around 3 or 4 stories tall. Then somebody proposes a 23-story tower near the end of your street. It's called Project Vila on Turquoise Street, right on the northern edge of Pacific Beach. And this has turned into a major fight between the state of California and the city of San Diego. The developer filed permits back in August of 2024 using California's state density bonus law. And for those who don't know, this is a state law that allows developers to override certain local zoning rules if they meet specific housing requirements. Sacramento has been leaning on laws like this to pressure cities into approving more housing projects. Now, the Vela project includes plans for 74 residential units. But on top of all of that, the developer is also asking for approval to build 139 visitor accommodation units. In other words, hotel rooms. So the city pushed back pretty hard. San Diego city leadership sent a formal letter arguing that the project functions more like a hotel than a housing development. And the biggest physical redevelopment project in this video is coming up soon. And it tells a different side of where San Diego is heading, but more on that in a bit. So right now, the developer is arguing that the project should receive automatic approval because the state review deadlines have passed. But the city says the application was incomplete, which means those deadlines shouldn't count yet. So you've got the developer pointing at state law, the city pointing at procedural issues, and the whole project is stuck in the middle. This is the state versus local control fight happening in real time. And if the developers start winning these automatic approval arguments, projects across San Diego could move much faster. But cities also lose some control over what gets built and where. If the city wins, local government keeps more influence, but the approval process stays slow, which is what builders and housing advocates advocates have been frustrated about for years. And both sides have valid arguments here, at least for the most part. Now, while all of that plays out along the coast, downtown San Diego is dealing with a different conversation centered around what the front door of the city should look like moving forward. So, the Civic Center area downtown has older buildings, outdated systems, and less foot traffic than there used to be. And a part of downtown that's still trying to figure out what it wants to become after so many offices emptied. The Civic Center redevelopment project is planned to change all of that. So, back in April of 2026, the city, the Prebys Foundation, and the Downtown San Diego Partnership unveiled a redevelopment roadmap for the entire 6-block Civic Center area. It includes Golden Hall, City Hall, the Civic Theater, and the surrounding government buildings. The vision is split into 2 different phases. Phase 1 would redevelop the Golden Hall site into an education and culture hub with housing built above it. Phase 2 expands into the surrounding blocks with more residential development, restaurants, shops, and other active street-level spaces. So the roadmap talks about billions of dollars in construction-related economic impact, thousands of construction jobs, about 4,500 new downtown residents, and millions of square feet of future development tied to the broader area. And when we cover the airport extension, it shows how decisions happening downtown start connecting to much bigger regional changes, so stay tuned. Now, the Civic Center project is still a long-term vision right now. There isn't a finalized development agreement yet, and nobody is out there breaking ground tomorrow morning. The roadmap also points out that these government buildings share plumbing, electrical, and structural systems, which means you can't just demolish one building and leave the others untouched. But if the city can pull this off, downtown San Diego could get the kind of anchor that's been missing for years. But if it stalls, downtown stays stuck in the awkward in-between phase for another decade. Now, the right groups are involved, but let's be honest, civic projects in San Diego don't move fast, trust me. But the next project is happening right now on a stretch of land most people in San Diego drove past for years without giving a second thought. Now, if you've driven through Mission Valley over the last few years, you've already seen the construction happening. The Riverwalk golf course in Mission Valley will soon be gone, and what will replace it is an entirely new neighborhood built from the ground up on around 200 acres. This is way bigger than just a couple of apartment buildings going up. Riverwalk is a full master plan community. At full build out, the project is expected to include around 4,300 homes, about 150,000 square feet of retail space, and close to 1 million square feet of office space. On top of all of that, there will be 110 acres of parks and open space, including a restored section of the San Diego River and a large regional park. And phase 1 is already moving along. That first section includes more than 700 homes, a new trolley station, a village green, and a grocery-anchored retail center. Hines, the developer, even secured a $380 million construction financing package just for phase 1 alone. For decades, Mission Valley has been a place people just drive through. Don't get me wrong, you had your malls, hotels, office buildings, freeways, but not much of a true neighborhood feeling. So, Riverwalk is trying to change that by turning the area into a transit-connected community where people can live, walk around, and spend time outdoors near the river. And for homeowners nearby, in places like Mission Hills and Linda Vista, projects this large can start shifting property values over time. Homes in those surrounding areas tend to trade in the mid-700s and the mid-1 millions. And a development of this scale could put more upward pressure on pricing over the next several years. Now, the final project in this video is the one that ties everything together. It changes how the entire San Diego region connects to the rest of the country. Now, I've been teasing this project throughout the video, and it's massive. The airport expansion will affect business travel, remote work, international access, and housing demand all at the same time. San Diego just spent $3.8 billion rebuilding theirs. If you've flown out of San Diego International lately, you've already seen the changes. Phase 1A of the new Terminal 1 opened in September 2025 with 19 new gates, replacing the old terminal that's been there for 58 years. The upgrade includes new check-in kiosks, a 13-lane security checkpoint, updated baggage systems, more than 90,000 square feet of new restaurants and retail space, plus 1.2 miles of redesigned airport roadways, which honestly is a big win. There's also a new 5-story parking structure with around 5,200 spaces, EV charging throughout the garage, bike parking, and the entire terminal runs on 100% carbon-free electricity. Also, Phase 1B started in early 2026, with 3 additional gates opening this year, and another 8 gates expected in early 2028. Once the full project is complete, the new Terminal 1 will have 30 gates in total. The airport announced it now offers 87 non-stop destinations, the highest number in airport history. That includes expanded international services places like Amsterdam, Munich, London, Heathrow, Calgary, Montreal, and Vancouver. San Diego International is starting to feel less like a smaller regional airport and more like a true international gateway for Southern California. And the economic impact tied to this project is huge. The airport authority estimates more than $4.5 billion and around 25,000 30,000 jobs. This is long-term infrastructure that's designed to reshape how the region grows. And homeowners and buyers should probably pay the most attention to. Projects like this influence housing demand for decades. More flights bring more business travel, more companies, more remote workers choosing San Diego, and more economic activity flowing into the region. And over time, that tends to push demand higher in neighborhoods with easier airport access. Places like Point Loma, Mission Hills, Coronado, and parts of North County along the I-5 corridor. The airport in San Diego is admitting the old front door no longer matches what the region was becoming. And once the front door changes, the rest of the housing starts changing too. So there you have it. The biggest changes coming to San Diego over the next decade are happening through zoning rules, lawsuits, redevelopment plans, and infrastructure projects like the ones we covered today. If you're thinking about holding, buying, or selling over the next year, send me an email at burn@often56.com today. I'll give you my honest take on where your area fits into everything that's happening right now. No pressure attached. And if you're focused on places like East Village or the Midway District, the timing side gets even more complicated. The video I've linked right here breaks down what all of that could mean if you own property nearby or you're thinking about buying there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.